Hello friends. About 99% of friends who watch my videos are not subscribed, and I would be very happy if you did. Also, don't forget to press the like button and leave your comments. Your interaction makes the content reach everyone and helps the channel grow. Also, let me know in the comments from which country you are watching the video. Alright buddy, buckle up because this one's gonna send chills down your spine. You ever had one of those nights where every single bone in your body told you to turn around, head back, and forget the job? Yeah, ... This was one of those nights. Look, I've been driving trucks for over 20 years now. Seen all kinds of stuff on these highways, drunk drivers, wild animals, tornadoes, even a UFO once. Or at least something I couldn't explain. But nothing ... and I mean nothing, compares to the horrors I'm about to tell you. This ain't no made-up story, no campfire ghost tale. This is real. As real as the diesel in my tank and the rubber on my tires. And believe me, if you've ever thought about pulling long hauls through the dead of night ... you might just rethink that after hearing what I've been through. It all started on a route I'd done a dozen times before. Midnight pickup from a warehouse in El Paso, Texas. Headed straight through New Mexico, then up into Colorado. Simple, straightforward, easy money. Or so I thought. The dispatcher had warned me the weather was going to be rough, but when you've got bills to pay, you don't say no. The sky was this ugly shade of black, like someone took a can of spray paint to it. No stars, no moon, just endless darkness. About 3 hours into the drive, somewhere near an old stretch of Highway 666, yeah, it's real, or at least it was before they changed the name for obvious reasons. My radio started acting funny. Static, garbled voices, something about ... Turn back ... don't single quotes T ... double quotes, then it would cut out. I figured it was just interference. Happens sometimes out there, especially when you're far from any town. Then I saw it, middle of the road. Looked like a man at first, waving me down. I hit the brakes hard, my tires screeching loud enough to wake the dead. As I got closer, the figure didn't move, didn't step aside, just ... stood there. But something wasn't right. His arms were too long, legs ... too thin. The head was tilted at this weird angle, like it was broken. I flipped on my high beams and ... swear to God. There wasn't a man standing there at all. It was like a shadow made. Solid. No face, no features. Just this dark mass with eyes. Not normal eyes. Glowing, red, piercing straight through the windshield. I slammed it into reverse, heart pounding so loud I thought it had burst out of my chest. The shadow thing started moving. Towards me, slow at first, then faster, limbs twitching like some broken puppet. My truck rattled like it was about to shake apart. I floored it. Didn't care about what was behind me. Didn't care if the load tipped over. I was getting the hell out of there. But the road ... the road didn't look right. I swear I passed the same mile marker 3 times. 217, then again. 217, then once more. It was like I was stuck in a loop. My GPS was spinning, the screen glitching out, just flashing random symbols that made no sense. Then the CB radio kicked back on. But it wasn't voices this time. It was laughter. This ... deep, gravelly laughter, like it was coming from inside my own head. I screamed into the mic. Who's there? What do you want? No answer. Just that laugh, then ... silence. I risked a glance into my side mirror. And there it was, hanging off the back of my trailer. This thing ... this creature. Long, bony fingers digging into the metal, eyes locked onto me like it was feeding off my fear. My rig started slowing down, like something was holding it back. I stomped on the pedal. Engine roared. Turbo whistling louder than I'd ever heard. But it felt like dragging an anchor. Suddenly, bam! Something hit the roof of the cab. I ducked instinctively, swerving a little, tires kicking up dust from the shoulder. Another thud. Then, a voice. Not through the radio. Not through my phone. Right. In my ear. It whispered, You shouldn't be here, double quotes. My blood turned to ice. I looked in the rearview mirror again, but the thing was gone. No trace. I slowed down, heart thumping, trying to convince myself it was just exhaustion, maybe a hallucination. But then, I noticed the claw marks. Deep gouges in the trailer's back doors. 4 long slashes, like someone took a giant rake to it. I pulled over at the next truck stop, jumped out with my flashlight, praying it was just my imagination. But the marks were real, not just on the trailer. On the cab, too. Scratches on the roof. Dents on the side. Something had been on my truck. I went inside the diner, tried to calm down, ordered some coffee. Lady behind the counter must have seen the look on my face, 'cause she asked, You all right, driver? You look like you've seen a ghost. I told her what happened. Her face went pale. She nodded slowly and said, You were on 666, weren't you? I nodded. She leaned in, lowering her voice. You ain't the first. Things out there. Things that ain't meant to be seen. They follow drivers sometimes, especially the ones who don't listen to the warnings. I asked her what kind of things. She hesitated. Some say it's the spirits of those who died out there. Accidents, murders, suicides. Others say it's older than that. Something tied to the land. Cursed. I didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. Every time a truck passed by, every time a shadow shifted outside the window, I flinched. I kept thinking about that voice. That whisper. You shouldn't be here, But that was just the start. The beginning of the worst week of my life. And if you think that was bad, buddy, just wait till you hear what happened next. Because the highway. It wasn't done with me yet, So after I left that diner, still shaking like a leaf, I figured maybe I could outrun whatever the hell that thing was. Maybe it was just something about that stretch of highway, right? I told myself. It was behind me now. Just get back on the road, deliver the load, and forget this nightmare. Simple. But man, let me tell you, the highway had other plans for me. The second I pulled back onto the asphalt, something felt off. You know that gut feeling? The one that tells you when something ain't right. Yeah, it was screaming in my ears louder than my Jake brake. The road ahead was dead straight. No turns, no exits for miles. But up in the distance, I saw something weird. Looked like fog at first, but not the normal kind of fog. This stuff was thick, dense, almost like smoke, but no smell. And it wasn't drifting like fog should. It was just hanging there, a wall of it, right across the highway. I slowed down, flicked on my high beams. Didn't help. The light just bounced right back at me. Couldn't see more than 10 feet ahead. And that's when I noticed dead silence. No engine hum, no road noise, nothing. Even the radio went flat dead, static gone. Like the whole world had just shut off. I pressed the brakes, debating whether to pull over or push through. But before I could decide, something darted across the road, fast, too fast to be anything normal. I caught a glimpse of it, long limbs, pale skin, hunched over, crawling on all fours like a damned spider. It moved unnatural, bones bending the wrong way. I slammed on the brakes so hard I nearly jackknifed. My coffee went flying. I grabbed the wheel, trying to steady the rig, breathing heavy, my heart pounding in my throat. And then, the banging started, loud, from the passenger side door. 3 heavy knocks. Bam, bam. I whipped my head over, expecting. Hell, I don't even know what I expected. But there was nothing. Just that thick fog. No shape, no figure. But the banging kept going. Bam, bam, bam. Then from the driver's side, bam, bam. I swear it felt like something was circling me. I locked the doors. Not that it would have done a damn thing against whatever this was. Then the headlights flickered, dimmed, went out completely. Total darkness. The only light now was the faint glow of the dashboard. And that's when the whispering started, not from outside, from inside the cab. Soft voices, dozens of them, maybe more, whispering over each other, chanting ... something. Couldn't make out the words, but it sounded ... wrong, like it wasn't meant for human ears. I covered mine, yelling, "Stop! Shut up! Leave me alone!" And just like that, silence again. The lights came back. Radio flickered back on with a loud pop of static. The fog was gone, vanished like it was never there. Road clear ahead, but something wasn't right. I looked at the clock on the dash. 2:14 a.m. Looked at my phone. 4:29 a.m. I'd lost over 2 hours. Just ... gone. No idea what happened during that time. No memory. No nothing. I stepped out of the cab, legs shaky, and noticed the ground beneath my feet wasn't asphalt. It was dirt, sand. I wasn't on the highway anymore. I was parked in the middle of the desert. No road, no signs. No nothing. Just empty wasteland as far as the eye could see. I scrambled back into the truck, fired it up, and spun the wheel looking for a way back. My GPS was fried, screen just showing a blank grid with a single word flashing in red. Nowhere. I swear to God, I ain't making this up. I drove in circles for what felt like forever, until finally, like flipping a switch, the highway just appeared in front of. 1 second it wasn't there. Next second, bam, there it was. I floored it. Didn't care about speed limits, way stations, or due-tout inspections. Just wanted off that cursed stretch of road. When I finally hit a major highway junction, I pulled over to check the trailer, half expecting the whole load to be gone, or the truck torn to pieces. But everything looked ... normal, except for one thing. On the side of the trailer, written in the dust, were the words, "Stay off this road." No footprints, no handprints, just those words, clear as day. I grabbed a rag, wiped it off, heart pounding so hard it felt like my chest would explode. But I couldn't shake the feeling that whatever had found me ... wasn't done, not even close. And buddy, that was just the beginning. I wish I could tell you that after that night, I was done with weird things on the highway, that I hung up my keys, parked the rig, and never drove that route again. But that ain't how life works when you've got bills to pay and mouths to feed. So after catching maybe 2 hours of restless sleep, parked under some gas station lights, I fueled up, said a little prayer, and hit the road again. Dumb move, yeah, but what else was I supposed to do? I figured I'd stay off Highway 666. For good. Rerouted my GPS to take me down a different path, one that ran alongside some mountain ranges. A bit longer, but anything was better than going back through that cursed stretch. Or so I thought. About an hour into this detour, things seemed fine. Quiet, peaceful even. The kind of quiet that makes you second-guess yourself, like maybe last night was just some crazy dream. Until I saw it. Up ahead, just off the shoulder, was this old, beat-up pickup truck. Looked abandoned. Hood popped open, driver's door hanging wide like someone got out in a real hurry. Now, trucker code says you stop if someone's broke down, especially way out in the middle of nowhere. So I slowed down, eased onto the shoulder, and flicked on my hazards. As I got closer, though, I noticed something that made my skin crawl. There was no license plate, not front, not back, no stickers, no markings, nothing. It was like this truck didn't belong to anyone, or anywhere. Still, curiosity got the better of me. I grabbed my flashlight, hopped down, and walked toward it. "Hello?" I called out. "Y'all all right? Need a tow?" Or anything? No answer. Just the wind whistling through the empty desert. I walked around to the front. Engine was there, but it wasn't right. Looked melted, like someone poured acid all over it. The metal was warped, wires dangling like spaghetti. There's no way this truck broke down naturally. Something tore it apart. Then I noticed the footprints, dozens of them, leading away from the truck. But not normal footprints. These were weird, long, narrow, with 3 sharp toes. Like bird tracks bigger, way bigger. Whatever made those wasn't anything that belonged in the wild. My heart started pounding. I backed up, shining the light toward where the tracks led, and that's when I heard it. A sound I ain't never heard before, and God willing, I never hear again. A screech, high-pitched, bone-rattling, made the hair on my arms stand straight up. It echoed through the night, bouncing off the hills, coming from somewhere just out of sight. Then rustling, fast, heavy. Something was moving through the brush, coming straight for me. I bolted back to the rig, slipped on the gravel, scrambled to my feet, and slammed the door shut just as something huge hit the side of the cab. The whole truck rocked. I didn't wait to see what it was. Fired her up, threw it in gear, and mashed the pedal. Tires spun, kicking up dirt and dust as I pulled back onto the highway, praying this beast didn't follow. But as I checked the mirror, I saw it for just a split second. A shape, massive, taller than my rig, blacker than the night around it. Long limbs, glowing eyes. It stood there on the shoulder, watching. Just watching. Didn't chase, didn't move. Just stared until I rounded the bend and lost sight of it. But the worst part? The absolute worst part, was what came next. As soon as I lost sight of it, my radio dead since last night crackled back to life. Not music, not voices, but static. And buried under that static was breathing. Heavy, wet, ragged, like something. No, someone was right there, sitting in the passenger seat beside me. I whipped my head over seat was empty. But the breathing didn't stop. It got louder, closer, like it was right in my ear. I gripped the wheel tighter than I ever have. In my life, knuckles white, jaw clenched, refusing to look. Just keep driving. Don't look. Don't acknowledge it. But then, that same whisper again. Same voice as before. Cold. Hollow. You shouldn't be here? And with that the radio cut off. Silence again. Just the rumble of the engine and the pounding of my terrified heart. I don't know how long I drove like that. Could have been minutes. Could have been hours. Time didn't feel real anymore. But eventually I saw lights. Real lights. A way station. Civilization. Safety. I pulled in. Practically jumped out of the truck. Paced around trying to catch my breath. Convincing myself it was all in my head. Until I saw the passenger door. Right there, clear as day, smeared into the dust on the glass was a handprint. But not a normal one. Too big, fingers too long. 6 of them. and burned into the center was a symbol. Looked like a spiral. Or maybe an eye. I don't know. I wiped it off before anyone else could see. But buddy ... mark. It's burned into my memory forever. And let me tell you, that was still just the beginning. I sat there at that way station for what must have been a solid half hour, chain smoking, hands shaking so bad I could barely light the next one. Every trucker that pulled in probably thought I was tweaking out or something. But nah, man ... this was fear. Pure, cold, bone-deep fear. You know that kind you don't shake off? A kind that sinks its claws in and doesn't let go? Yeah, that kind. I kept thinking about that handprint. 6 fingers. Burned right into the dust like whoever or whatever ... left it was pressing. Down with something hotter than fire. And that symbol, man. That spiral ... or eye. Whatever the hell it was, it's like it was staring into me long after I wiped it off. But here's the thing, it wasn't over. Not even close. I figured once I got away from that stretch of desert, things would go back to normal. But that ain't how this works. Not on these highways. Not when you've been marked. I grabbed some coffee, splashed cold water on my face, and forced myself back behind the wheel. I just wanted to finish the damn run. Just get the load dropped, collect the check, and forget any of this ever happened. But buddy, that road, it wasn't letting me go so easy. About 40 miles past the way station, the terrain started changing. Gone were the flat deserts and open stretches. Now I was weaving through these narrow mountain passes, tight curves, steep drop-offs with no guardrails, the kind of roads where you grip the wheel so tight your hands cramp. The wind picked up something fierce, whistling through the canyons, howling against the cab, making the whole rig sway. I turned off the radio. Couldn't handle hearing anything weird coming through the static again. Just me, the road, and the sound of my own breath. That's when the headlights started showing up. In my mirrors. First, I thought nothing of it. Happens all the time. Some car comes flying up behind you, stuck behind a semi, waiting for a chance to pass. But this car never passed. Stayed right on my tail. I flicked on the trailer lights. A couple of times. No response. Flashed my hazards. Nothing. I slowed down to give him a chance to go around. Still nothing. Just those headlights. But here's the thing. The road didn't have anywhere to pass. 1 lane each way. No pull-offs. No shoulder. Just cliffs on one side and rock walls on the other. I stared at those lights, squinting. Something felt ... wrong. Real wrong. The beams were too high. Not like normal headlights. Almost eye level. And they weren't casting on the road. No glow. Just 2 perfect circles of light ... floating. Like they weren't attached to a vehicle at all. My mouth went dry. I tapped the brakes again, leaned forward, tried to get a better look in the mirror. And that's when the lights ... blinked. I swear to God, they blinked. On, off, like freaking eyes. That's when the realization hit me like a punch to the gut. Those weren't headlights. They were eyes, glowing, watching, matching my speed. Keeping pace no matter how tight. The curve, no matter how steep the incline. And then they moved, shifted, from directly behind me to the passenger side. No road there. Nothing but thin air and a 200-foot drop-off. But there they were, floating alongside me. Right outside the window. I turned my head, slow as hell, afraid of what I was going to see. And buddy, I wish I hadn't. There was a face. No, not a face. A skull. Pale, stretching impossibly wide, grinning, but not with teeth. The mouth was filled with ... eyes, rows of them, blinking, rolling, all staring right at me. I let out this noise, half scream, half gasp, and yanked the wheel. Not smart. Nearly sent the rig right off the edge. Tires screeched, trailer fishtailed, load shifted hard to the left. I fought the wheel with everything I had, heart pounding so loud I couldn't even hear the engine. Somehow, by some miracle, I got her straightened out. The face, the thing, was gone, like it was never there. But the worst part? When I checked the mirrors, the road behind me was gone. Just black, like the world ended 30 feet back. No pavement. No headlights. No nothing. Just ... void. Darkness swallowing. Everything. I floored it. Didn't care about curves. Didn't care about speed. Just go. Move. Get the hell out. And after what felt like hours, I hit a straightaway. Open land, civilization in the distance, lights, gas stations, people. I nearly cried. But as I pulled into the first truck stop I saw, hands shaking, legs weak, I looked at the clock. And my heart damn near stopped. Same time as before. 2:14 a.m. Dead on. No matter how far I drove, no matter where I went, the clock wouldn't move. Time was broken. Or something was keeping it from moving. I don't know. I still don't. But as I parked, leaned back, and tried to breathe, my phone buzzed. First time it had signal all night. Notification popped up. New photo. From my own phone. But here's the thing ... I never took it. Hands trembling, I opened the gallery ... and stared in horror. It was a picture. From inside the cab. Taken from the passenger seat. Angle was perfect. Focused right on me. Behind the wheel. Hands on the wheel. Eyes wide. Mouth open in terror. And standing right behind me ... in the sleeper ... was that thing. The face. The skull. The mouth full of blinking eyes. Grinning. Watching. And right at the bottom of the picture ... in white text ... were the words, "You shouldn't be here. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you." When I saw that photo, I damn near threw my phone. Clean across the truck stop parking lot. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold it. My throat went dry. Cold sweat rolled down my neck. I sat there staring at that image for a solid minute, trying to convince myself it was some kind of glitch, some prank, something logical. But deep down, I knew better. I knew this wasn't no prank. Wasn't no glitch. Something had taken that picture. Something inside my truck. And it wasn't just watching me. It was letting me know it was there. I forced myself to breathe, wiped the sweat from my forehead, and did the only thing I could think to do. I checked the sleeper. Yanked open the curtain like a madman, half expecting to see that thing standing there, grinning at me. But nothing. Empty. Just my duffel bag, my thermos, my old sleeping bag. Everything where it was supposed to be. But even though it looked empty, the air back there felt wrong, heavy, thick, like something was still there, watching, waiting. I ain't ashamed to tell you, I didn't sleep that night. Hell no. I locked every door, taped down the curtains, turned every damn light on in the cab, and sat there gripping the wheel with white knuckles, till the sky finally started turning gray. Even then, even with daylight creeping over the horizon, that fear never let up. My hands were still shaking. My gut still twisted up in knots. But the load wasn't going to deliver itself. Against every ounce of common sense screaming at me, I fired up the rig, rolled out of the truck stop, and pointed her north toward Colorado. Prayed to whatever might be listening that the nightmare was behind me. But buddy, it wasn't, not even close. About an hour out from the truck stop, the landscape started getting weird again. Looked normal at first, long stretches of highway, open plains, the occasional barn or windmill in the distance. But the farther I drove, the emptier it got. Like the world itself was fading out. No cars, no trucks, no birds, no nothing. Just endless highway and fields of dead grass. Even the sky looked wrong. Cloudless, but not blue. This dull, pale gray. Like someone sucked all the color out of it. And that's when the signs started. Road signs. But not the kind you're used to seeing. First one said, nitrogen monoxide exit. Simple. White letters on a black background. No arrow. No mile marker. Just that. A couple miles later, another one. Turn around. Same black and white. Same eerie emptiness. No explanation. No context. Just a warning. I gripped the wheel tighter. Every muscle in my body tensed. I told myself it was just some prank. Some local messing with drivers. But then came the third sign. This one made my blood run cold. It said, "You've been warned." All caps, bigger letters. And just below that, something scrawled in red, like it was hand-painted, looked like scratch marks or blood or both. I couldn't tell. I wanted to turn around. God knows, every fiber of my being wanted me to. Flip that rig, get the hell out of there, backtrack, find any other route. But the road didn't give me a choice. No exits, no pull-offs, no intersections. Just one straight stretch of highway into God knows what. And then I saw it. Up ahead, middle of the road, a figure, tall, thin, standing perfectly still. Looked human at first. As I got closer, my stomach twisted. It wasn't human. Couldn't be. Its arms were too long. Legs bent the wrong way. Head cocked sideways like it was broken. Skin pale, almost translucent. I slowed, unsure whether to stop or blow past it. But before I could decide, it moved, fast, snapped from standing still to sprinting toward me in a way no human body should move. Its limbs flailed like it was dislocating every joint just to run faster. I floored it. Engine roared. Tires screamed. But as I passed it, thinking I'd outrun the thing, I looked in the mirror. Big mistake. It wasn't chasing me. Oh no, it was running beside me. On all fours now, keeping pace with a fully loaded semi doing 70. Its face, God help me, its face was pressed right against the passenger side window. Staring, grinning. Hollow sockets where eyes should have been. And that mouth, stretched wide, unnaturally wide, grin running ear to ear, tongue lolling out, black, dripping with something. I lost it. Swerved hard left. Tried to shake it. The rig rocked, trailer fishtailing, so bad I thought it'd tip. But when I glanced back, it was gone, vanished, like it had never been there. I straightened out, heart pounding, chest tight, gasping for air. But then the radio crackled. Dead silent all night. And now a voice. Not a whisper this time. A voice, raspy, dry, croaking out 3 words that chilled me to the bone. Look behind you. Buddy, I swear on my life. I didn't want to. Everything in me screamed not to. But you know how it is. Curiosity, fear. They mix together. Into something you can't fight. I glanced into the sleeper mirror, and what I saw, I'll never forget as long as I live. Sitting there, in my bunk, legs crossed, grinning that same impossible grin, was the figure, pale, hollow-eyed. Its head slowly tilted, until it was upside down, without moving its body. And it whispered, "You were warned." My hands locked onto the wheel so tight, I thought my bones would snap. My breath hitched, every muscle frozen stiff, as that thing sat there, grinning, upside-down head, hollow eyes boring straight into me. I could see it clear as day in that tiny sleeper mirror. Its fingers, long, crooked, tapping rhythmically against the bunk's frame, like it was counting down to something. Tap, tap, tap. I wanted to move. I wanted to slam the brakes, jump out, abandon the truck, and run screaming into the fields. But my legs wouldn't work. My arms wouldn't let go of the wheel. I was trapped with this thing, sitting just feet behind me. And then it started talking, slow, drawn out, voice like sandpaper dragged across metal. Turn back. You don't belong here, ... I squeezed my eyes shut, muttering under my breath, not real, not real, not real. But when I opened, it was gone, just gone. Like someone flipped a switch and it vanished into thin air. The sleeper was empty. No sign of it. Not a mark, not a trace. But then the smell hit me. Rotten, damp, like moldy earth mixed with something dead. I gagged, nearly swerved off the road, slammed the window open just to breathe. But even fresh air didn't help. That stench. It was inside, stuck, embedded in the cab like it soaked into the metal itself. I didn't dare stop. No way. I kept driving, white-knuckled, jaw clenched, scanning every mirror like my life depended on it. And then the road, the damn road. It changed. I swear to you, it changed. 1 second it was asphalt. Then dirt, gravel, like the pavement just ended. No warning. No signs. Just rough, bone-jarring gravel stretching out in front of me into total darkness. I hit the brakes, dust kicking up around me, trailer rattling like it was about to come apart. GPS. Dead. Phone. Blank screen. No signal. Just that little spinning circle like it was trying to figure out where in the hell I was. I flicked on the high beams, leaned forward, squinting into the dust cloud. And that's when I saw it. A building. Middle of nowhere. No road leading to it. No driveway. Just sitting there, like it had been dropped from the sky. It wasn't no gas station. Wasn't no diner. This thing looked ancient. Like an old church, or maybe a schoolhouse. Wooden. Falling apart. Windows boarded. Roof half caved in. But the worst part, the door. Wide open, swinging gently in. The wind, like it was inviting me, daring me. My gut screamed, don't even think about it. But my eyes, it caught something else. Movement in the window. A shadow, just for a second, darted past. Then gone. And then the CB radio crackled back on. Dead all night, not a peep. And now a voice. But not like before. This one wasn't whispering, wasn't laughing. It was sobbing. A man's voice, broken, terrified. Help me, please. Oh God, please ... it won't let me leave. I've been stuck for days. Please ... double quotes. My stomach flipped. My hands trembled. I keyed the mic. Who is this? Where are you? Static. Then. It knows you're here. It's coming ... And right then, every light in the truck shut off. Headlights, dash lights. Everything total black. Engine still running, but the lights were dead. And in that pitch black, the air changed. Heavy, thicker than before. Like the pressure dropped. Like the world itself was holding its breath. Then, movement from the building. Slow, deliberate. Something stepped out of that doorway. Couldn't see it fully. Just the outline? Tall, thin, longer than any person should be. Shoulders crooked, head tilted, arms dragging. And Buddy, I swear, it was looking right at me. Even in the dark, even with no face, I knew it was looking right, me. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. That thing, that shadow, that shape, it started walking. No, not walking. Gliding, hovering, feet never touched the ground. Just slid across the dirt like it weighed. Nothing but carried the weight of every nightmare a man could ever have. The air in the cab got colder. Frost bloomed across the inside of the windshield like a spider web made of ice. My breath came out in thick clouds, chest rising and falling so fast it felt like I was suffocating. The engine was still running, but the lights were dead. No headlights, no marker lights, not even the little LEDs on the dash. Just the low, rumbling growl of the diesel, like even the truck itself was scared to stall out in this place. I slammed the door lock like that. Would help. My fingers hovered over the gear shift. Part of me thought, maybe if I throw it into drive, floor it, and aim straight through that thing, maybe I could outrun it. But something told me, no, this thing wasn't flesh. Wasn't something tires and steel could handle. As it slid closer, the shape got clearer. Tall, 8, 9 feet maybe. Limbs thin like branches. Fingers long enough they dragged against the ground behind it. Head hung to one side like the neck was snapped. And then I saw the face. If you could call it that. A hollow void. A hole where a face should be. No eyes. No mouth. Just this swirling black emptiness that looked like it sucked the light straight out of the world. And right as it reached the front of my truck, the CB screamed. Not crackled, screamed, ear-piercing, a chorus of voices. Dozens, hundreds, all overlapping, crying, screaming, whispering, begging. Help! Get out! You shouldn't have come. It's too late. It's too late. I slapped my hands over my ears, gritting my teeth, yelling, "Shut up! Shut up!" But the worst part, the voices weren't just in the CB anymore. They were inside the cab, inside my head, reverberating through my bones. And then silence. Total, suffocating silence. The figure gone, vanished, like it was never there. But the door to that building was still open, and now there was light. Faint, flickering, pale blue glow spilling out onto the dirt like moonlight through fog. Something was in there, something waiting, and then my phone, dead for hours. Buzzed. One notification. Just one. No signal. Number. Battery icon. Nothing. Just a single message. No number. No contact. Just blank. And the message read, "If you leave, IT follows." My stomach twisted. My mouth went dry. Hands trembled so bad I could barely grip the wheel. I glanced at the open doorway again. That pale glow seemed stronger now, almost pulsing, like it was breathing. Something deep down told me this wasn't some random haunting. This wasn't just a cursed road or a bad stretch of highway. This place, this whole place, was a trap, a spider's web, and I'd driven straight into it. Another voice, different, now cut through the silence. Soft, sweet almost, a woman's voice, whispering from nowhere and everywhere all at once. Come see ... come see what you really are ... And Buddy, before I could even stop myself, my hand moved, like it wasn't mine anymore. Reached down, killed the engine. Silence swallowed everything. I didn't even remember unbuckling the seatbelt. Didn't remember grabbing the door handle. But the next thing I knew, I was stepping out, feet hitting the gravel. The cold, it hit me like a wall. The air felt wrong, heavy, tasted like metal, like blood, like the air itself didn't want me breathing it. That building stood there waiting, lights flickering, door yawning open like the mouth of some giant beast. And something inside was moving, slow, crawling, shuffling, waiting. And buddy, I swear to you, every instinct screamed, get back in the truck, run now. But my legs didn't listen. They just kept walking, closer, closer, closer to that door. Every step I took felt heavier than the last, like the ground itself was trying to pull me down, like walking through mud made of dread and regret. The gravel crunched under my boots, but the sound was muffled, swallowed by the suffocating air. That doorway loomed bigger now, closer. The pale blue light flickered like it was struggling to stay alive. Or maybe like it was trying to lure me in. I stopped just a few feet from the entrance, staring into the void beyond. Inside, it was darker than dark. That kind of darkness that ain't natural. Not the absence of light, but the presence of something else entirely. Something wrong. Something hungry. For a split second, I told myself, turn around. Go back. To the rig. Lock the doors. Drive. Just drive until the sun rises, until none of this feels real anymore. But then, something moved inside. Slow. Slithering. And then, something spoke. A voice deeper than anything I've ever heard. Low. Vibrating in my chest, in my bones, in the ground beneath my feet. You already belong to me, ... double quotes. My breath caught. My knees buckled. The pressure. It was like the weight of the whole damn sky was pressing down on me. And then the floor inside, what little I could see shifted. Shapes, dozens of them. Maybe more. Crawling, dragging, some on hands and knees. Others hunched, their heads twitching violently, like they were broken toys. I backed up a step. Just one. And the moment I did, something shot out of that darkness. Fast, lightning fast. A hand. Or what used to be a hand. Skin pale and stretched thin over impossibly long bones. Fingers tipped in jagged nails blacker than the void behind it. It slammed into the doorframe, stopping just inches from my face. I stumbled back, heart jackhammering, gasping, scrambling. For balance, as more hands, dozens, gripped the edges of the doorway, fingers curling over the rotted wood, splinters snapping under the pressure. And then they pulled, slowly, dragging something forward. Something big, something massive. I could see the shape now. A head, or what passed for one. Elongated, hollow sockets where eyes should be. A mouth stitched shut with rusty wire, but stretching, bulging, like it was trying to scream through the bindings. The skin, gray, cracked, veins black as oil pulsing beneath the surface. It stepped forward, if you could call it stepping, its legs bending backward like a spider, shoulders scraping the sides of the doorway, wood splintering as it forced itself through, and as it moved, something came with it. The walls, the floor, the ceiling, peeling, rotting, turning to ash as if its very presence sucked the life out of everything around it. And then my phone buzzed again. No signal, no battery, no explanation, just a blank screen and one message. Run. I didn't think, didn't breathe, didn't hesitate. I turned on my heel and bolted, sprinting back to the rig like my life depended on it, 'cause buddy, it did. I could hear it behind me, the crunch of gravel, the scraping of claws, the snapping of wood as whatever that thing was dragged itself out of that building and into the world. I fumbled for the door handle, missed it, fumbled again, got it. Yanked the door open, threw myself inside, slammed it shut, and locked it. My hands shook so bad I nearly dropped the keys, jamming them into the ignition, turning praying, "Please start. Please start. ... The engine coughed. Once, twice, and then roar she fired up. I slammed it into gear, stomped the pedal to the floor, tires screaming, dirt flying everywhere as the rig lurched forward. I risked one glance into the side mirror. Buddy, I wish I hadn't. That thing. It was chasing me. Fast. Faster than anything that size should move. Running on all fours now, limbs bending in ways that defied everything natural. Its mouth still stitched shut split wider. Wider, like the skin itself was tearing. And inside, nothing. Just a swirling void. Like looking into the mouth of the universe itself. Black, endless, hungry. The CB crackled again. A single voice. Not a whisper. Not a scream. Just calm. Cold, certain. You can't outrun it. It's part of you now. ... Double quotes. My foot never left the floor. Speedometer climbing. 80, 90. I didn't care. Didn't matter if the load tipped. Didn't matter if I blew the engine. I just had to get out. Had to get away. The road somehow was. Back, pavement under the tires. Lines painted. Street signs flickering into existence like they were being rendered in real time. And then, just like that, the sky changed. From that dull gray to dawn. First light creeping over the horizon. The darkness behind me seemed to peel away, like smoke caught in a rising wind. The sound of claws scraping pavement faded. The air shifted. Warmer, lighter, normal. I glanced back again. Nothing. Empty road, no building, no figure, no monster. Just highway, like none of it had ever happened. But Buddy? When I finally made it to the drop yard white as a sheet, eyes bloodshot, hands trembling, I walked to the back of the trailer just to make sure the load was still there. And that's when I saw it. Scratched no, carved into the back. Door of the trailer. Deep, jagged, fresh. You shouldn't be here. I stood there frozen, staring at those words carved deep into the metal. You shouldn't be here. My stomach twisted so hard, I thought I was going to puke right there in the dirt. My legs felt like jelly, my breath shallow. I walked up, ran my fingers over the grooves. Deep, rough. Whatever did this. Didn't just scratch it with keys or a knife. This was clawed, gouged, torn into the steel like it was butter. And it wasn't just the words. Around them were symbols. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. Circles, eyes, spirals. Jagged lines crossing over one another, like markings of something ancient. Something older than anything that belonged on this earth. I stepped back, rubbing my face, pacing like a madman. Part of me wanted to scream. Another part wanted to climb into the sleeper, curl up, and pretend none of this ever happened. But then something caught my eye. The back door latch. And twisted, as if something had tried to get out. My knees buckled. I grabbed the side of the trailer to steady myself. No way. There was nothing back there. Right? I reached for the latch, hesitated, hand shaking so bad I could barely grip it. Every instinct screamed, don't open it. Don't open IT. But my dumb curiosity overrode my fear. Slowly, I unlatched the door. It creaked, metal groaning, hinges stiff as it swung open. I stepped back, waiting, expecting, dreading. Nothing. Just cargo, pallets, boxes, everything exactly. Where it should be. No damage, no sign anything had moved or shifted, except for the smell. That same smell. Rot, decay, damp earth, and something worse. Something wrong. I climbed up, checking behind every pallet, every shadow, every corner, empty. But when I turned back to step out, there it was, on the inside of the trailer door, written in thick, dark smears, handprints, hundreds of them, all sizes, small, large, some with 6 fingers, some with none, layered over each other, drag marks, smears, like something had been pounding, clawing, scratching, trying to get out. Or worse, trying to get in. I stumbled back, jumped out, slammed the door, latched it, backed away like it was going to swing open and drag me back in. I looked around the yard. Other drivers unloading. Workers moving forklifts. None of them noticed. None of them saw it. Just me. Just me standing there like a man who'd seen the devil himself. And maybe I had. I climbed back in the cab, slammed the door, locked it, sat there staring at the windshield, hands shaking, breath ragged, and my phone buzzed. Battery at 0. No signal. Screen lit up anyway. One final message. No sender, no number. Just a blank screen with one line of text. This road never ends. And just like that, the screen went dark. Permanently. Dead. I threw the phone on the passenger seat, fired up the rig, and pulled out of that yard. Been driving ever since. Different roads, different states, doesn't matter where. Because, buddy, let me tell you something I've come to learn out here on these highways. There's places out here where the map don't go. Places where the GPS lies. Places where the road don't follow the rules of the world. Where time stops. Where shadows move wrong. Where things watch. And once you've seen once, you've been marked. You ain't never really leaving. You can run. You can drive. You can change your routes. You can burn the maps. But out here, on these long, empty stretches of highway, some roads, they drive you. So yeah, next time you're out there, real late, middle of nowhere, and your radio cuts out, your headlights flicker, and the shadows start looking like they're moving just a little too much, just remember, you shouldn't be here.